At what point, again, early in the season, but we do like talking about awards, at what point do we graduate from Jayden Daniels as the offensive rookie of the year to, is Jayden Daniels MVP of the league? Tell me who's the MVP right now. Like, if you had to vote, Josh Allen, who just lost 2 straight games? Probably not. Like, Derrick Henry's not going to get the votes because he's a running back. He's not a quarterback. If you look at what team is being affected the most by one single player, the answer is probably Jayden Daniels at this point. And I made this argument for Stroud last year before the wheels kind of came off that late in the season. But right now, as we sit here, I don't have a better MVP argument for anybody in the league other than Jayden Daniels. I think you can make a perfectly reasonable argument that the number one guy in the entire NFL this season, now that Josh Allen's had a couple tough weeks, is Jayden Daniels, a rookie who is just taking the league by storm. This is the story of the season. Jayden Daniels' emergence to superstardom from basically his first game in the NFL is absolutely fascinating. They look great. Like, he's throwing the ball well. They have a 4th and 3 and he runs it for 40 yards. Like, he is making every single play you'd want a quarterback to make. If I never told you number 5 in red as a rookie, you would think, oh yeah, that guy's probably won a couple MVPs already. Like, he's probably him and Lamar Jackson or 1A and 1B. Like, that's how good he looks. It's very impressive. Am I wrong here in thinking, again, it's early, it's 5 weeks, I understand. Am I wrong here in saying, like, at this moment, Jayden Daniels is the MVP of the NFL?
I think no, but the voters never go that way. And I'll credit Stone for finding this nugget. I was trying to look it up. Jim Brown is the only rookie ever to win NFL MVP. Right? Mm-hmm. And that matters in this conversation. It shouldn't matter, but it does matter. Right now, if I had to tell you who I think the MVP will probably be today, I think it's Mahomes, just because the Chiefs are still the Chiefs.
I don't get that. I don't understand that. You'd have to explain that to me, because Mahomes has not played well. Like, he's a great player who has not really played that well. His rating is like 89 or something like that. He's been very average. I don't think he's going to get better without a lot of his weapons. Like, yes, they have a good record, but that's just this stupid hole we fall down with individual awards. Like, Patrick Mahomes happens to be give the MVP to the Chiefs defense then, because it's not Patrick Mahomes right now. He's the best player in the world. I'm not going to argue that. He's not the MVP right now, and he should not even sniff a vote. Like, I understand there's a reason he's a betting favorite right now. But to me, there's one guy, there's one answer. Maybe you could make a case for like CJ Stroud, but I still think, I don't know, man. I get it. Voters, tough to get them to convince them to vote for a rookie for MVP. But who else would it be right now? Like, Jayden Daniels deserves it. Like, he is playing at that level. Make no mistake about it.
And by the way, a rookie should be eligible for it. A rookie is eligible. The rookie should be voting for. Here's one staggering Commanders little nugget to me that really stood out today when I was looking just at some of the numbers. The 3rd highest point differential in games total so far this year belongs to the Washington Commanders. So for whatever we want to say, the Washington Commanders are not just 4-1. They're beating teams. Like, they are aggressively beating teams.
The sign of a good team is beating bad teams by a lot, like not squeaking by the Cleveland Browns of the world.
Yeah, and by the way, I mean, one more Commanders note here. A couple of things. I'm on my soapbox.
My Commanders, trademark.
Frank's Commanders. Where are all the people now that said that Quinn didn't really matter to the Cowboys? Because the Cowboys defense is trash, as we know, overall over the course of the year. And the Commanders they're playing really well. And the other side of it is, even if you don't, I'm not even just talking about the defense. I'm talking about the most incredible transformation we've seen for the Washington Commanders is that nobody's talking about anything other than football. Like, how long has it been since we just talked about the football team, the Washington Commanders? I don't know that it's ever. I think they had their old name the last time we actually just talked about what football was for a Washington football team. Like, the Washington Commanders have never had this grace. It's amazing what happens when you get an adult in the room. It's amazing what happens when you get a head coach that, has a good concept of what he's trying to build. It's amazing what happens when the organization invests in a high-quality offensive coordinator, and it's amazing what happens when you hit a quarterback. The Washington Commanders aren't just this year's Texans because they're successful. They're this year's Texans because the entire conversation around the brand of the football team has changed because of the head coach and the quarterback. Like, that's the most incredibly difficult thing to do in sports, is to make people see your organization differently. And that's exactly what's happening.
Absolutely. And I mean, to a point, like, this goes beyond just like this season. Like, the Washington Commanders are trying to get a new stadium. Like, this is the kind of kid who could create so much excitement in that area. Let's say they go to the playoffs and win a game or something, or he wins MVP or whatever, wherever this Jayden Daniels story is going. We all know how this works. Ken Griffey helped get a baseball stadium built in Seattle. Peyton Manning helped get a new football stadium built in Indianapolis. Like, these are actual things that happen when you have momentum, when we are talking about the football product. It's a great video on Twitter, formerly X, whatever it is, where one of the local news people was just going up to people in the parking lot, it looked like, and asking them, when did you decide to buy a Jayden Daniels jersey and why? And you could just tell people perked up. They were ready. They couldn't wait to talk about Jayden Daniels and how excited they were about, like you said, how long has it been? They had the Robert Griffin III, that blip that season, but it's been a long time since, yes, you're right, since we're talking about fun football things with the Washington Commanders.